For more on this, we turn to former UK Member of Parliament George Galloway. Thanks for joining us. UK prosecutors and the rhetoric coming from Westminster and Prime Minister May today once again claimed that Salisbury and Amesburg nerve agent was almost certainly approved at the highest level of the Russian state. Russia has denied these allegations, but beyond the names and pictures released, what is the real impact of today's revelations?
Well, you just showed the laughably difficult time that Theresa May had in Parliament in answering the simple question, why? It was almost George W. Bush levels of incoherence, because there can be no answer to the question, why? Why would Russia want to do this and do it in a way that led directly back to the door of the Kremlin? For what? And for why then? A week before the presidential elections, 100 days before the flagship World Cup opened in Moscow, it's utterly ridiculous that Russia would have a reason to do this. And when you hear her describe the GRU as this Rolls-Royce intelligence agency, yet this operation, which she said was not a rogue operation, well, it was definitely a clownish operation. 2 men flying in to London from Moscow together, back together from London to Moscow, looking up at every CCTV camera in the land just so that everyone could get a good view of them, throwing away their ultra-expensive, 10 years in development, chemical weapon in a charity skip where someone was bound to pick it up and be killed by it, spraying the poison around the run-down hotel in the wrong part of London that they were supposedly living in. This is Austin Powers, not James Bond. And if the Russian intelligence agencies are really as bad as that, then God help the Russians.
Well, it's because of those kind of inconsistent details that we saw Jeremy Corbyn press Parliament on what steps are being taken to secure cooperation with Moscow and holding them accountable. But can we really expect, George, a change of attitude towards cooperation from London when it comes to the Skripal case investigation?
No, because they don't want to solve this crime, because this crime almost certainly lies in the dirty undergrowth of the Russian oligarchy in London. People who have run away from Russia, people who stole Russia's money, people who hate Putin, who's now being framed for this crime. They don't want to solve this crime. That's why they won't and can't cooperate with Russia. If they really wanted to, they'd have given the names of the fake passports. They'd have given the patronymics. They'd have given all the details to Russia and said, you find these people because they carried out a dastardly crime in England. But they're refusing to do so. And by the way, we've no way of knowing that these 2 men are Russian at all. Just because they came out of Moscow and went back to Moscow. I do that all the time. And I'm not Russian. And I promise you, I'm definitely not an employee of the GRU.
Well, it's interesting because you're talking about that, but the other side that we have to look at is the timing of this. So this information is being released in the midst of allegations of possible fabrication of chemical attacks in Syria between President Trump and Assad. This is also as Turkey, Russia, and Syria are scheduled to hold a bilateral summit in Tehran this Friday. Any thoughts on the timing of this release?
Well, I don't need to answer it. You were bang on with that question. The British and American governments have decided to re-enter the war in Syria against the Syrian army and who? Russia, under the pre-announced false flag of a chemical weapons attack. So, hey, let's fill the information airwaves and avenues with talk of Russia and chemical weapons. It's rocket science for sheep.
Well, once again, George, you're bringing common sense to another very confusing situation for many government officials, I guess. Thanks for joining us.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.